At 17, I built a six-figure agency working less than 8 hours per week and basically just firing myself in a short few months. And in this video, I will go over everything that I've learned from Alex Hormozi on building a team so you can do the same in your business.
Is that a lot of times you don't need a what, you need a who, right? You're trying to find and figure out the skill. When someone already has that skill and the experience and has already run an Olympic gold multiple times, you just say, hey, can you just run it over here?
So most business owners ask, how do I figure this out? Whenever they have a problem, they try to solve it themselves. And Alex flips it completely and says, who knows how to solve this? And once I understood that, everything changed. So for contracts, I run a content agency and I had no idea how to make thumbnails, how to edit videos, etc. So instead hired people who were better than me to do those things. And I also paid them to teach me how to do the thing, because for you to manage someone, you of course need to understand the thing yourself as well. So right now, just ask yourself, what problems are currently you're facing in your business that you aren't able to solve yourself? And just figure out who knows how to solve this. Alex doesn't mean that you should just find someone else who knows how to solve it and just completely forget about the problem. And if you don't know how to do the thing and that you don't know how to hire somebody like that again, then you're pretty screwed. So always, before you hire someone, first learn the thing yourself.
Just like you have lead generation, you have application generation. So the same 6 ways of getting customers also works when you're actually getting employees.
Now, this is where most people completely mess up hiring. So most people, they hire when they're desperate, when they can't take more clients, right? They make a job post on like Upwork or some random platform, right? And they say the talent sucks and nobody can do a better job than me. Alex treats hiring the same way as you get customers. Like if you're outreach, let's say. So the way you find talent is outreach, running ads, referrals, and things like that. For example, I've personally hired key players for my agency using outreach. Now, depending on your niche, platform that you use will be different. And here's the exact opener that I've used to get more than 50% reply rates on my outreach. So you can just take this and just adapt it to the hire that you want to be making for your business.
And so the objective of the hire should be to give you time back. How can I get the most time back for the least amount of money?
You shouldn't hire to grow your business. You should hire to buy back your time. Now, I learned this from a book that's called Buy Back Your Time. So whenever you hire for a role, you want to ask yourself, what disappears from my calendar when I make this hire? If the answer is not much, it's the wrong hire, especially early on. Now, the key hires that saved me the most time and that can also save you the most time is first hire an administrative assistant. Second, hire someone to manage your fulfillment. And third is other aspects of the business like marketing, sales, and eventually you want to be hiring for leadership positions as well, where someone else manages your team and runs the business. Now, if you want to see more videos on how to hire people specifically and find the exact order that I've hired, then you can check out the videos that I have on my channel that explain everything in depth.
You take the person who now says yes, and you make sure that they now go through the process, which as a customer would be fulfilling, before an employee is fulfilling on the job you just sold them on, right? And so you're actually giving them the skills and how you function and how you do things within your company. What are the communication cadences? Who are they going to report to? What is the job description? What are the KPIs are going to be measured on? What their compensation structure is, how they can get raises, all that kind of stuff.
So most people blame bad hires, but in reality is bad onboarding and bad training. Because for example, if I were to teach you how to post a YouTube video, right? And I showed you everything step by step, visually, and I literally do it in front of you. I tell you, hey, open your laptop, search youtube.com, tap on the arrow icon, and then drag and drop the file. If I taught you that way, you do understand that 90% of people would be able to do the job correctly. So if a hire that you made isn't doing their job correctly, is usually not their fault. So what I do personally with every single hire that I make, no matter if they're skilled or not, doesn't matter, because your business is going to be different. And even if you hired a skilled person for a role, you still need to train them specifically how to do it for your business, following your SOPs and processes. So what I do with every single hire personally is I do 2 calls with them every single week and daily check-in messages and like updates messages they send me after they complete their work, and I give them feedback on it. Then slowly I dial it back to around 1 call a week or like 1 call every few weeks. And this is a couple of back and forth messages once a week, because we've reached a point where there's really nothing to discuss and everything is running smoothly. And yes, it's very time consuming upfront, but the way I think about this is that every hour you spend training someone, like you're literally buying back months or like years worth of your time back. So it's the best investment that you can make. And that is basically called leverage.
And the goal of the company is to pay as little as possible for the highest amount of value.
Now, this might make some people uncomfortable and it might seem unethical, but that is literally how every single business works, even yours. And it makes complete sense. So if you have a job, then the owner of the business is of course going to pay you less compared to what he's getting in return for your work. And the ratio is the other way around, where the owner loses money or loses time by hiring you, then of course you're going to get fired. And the main thing that I took away from this is that you shouldn't hire people hourly. You shouldn't hire them like based on monthly salaries and stuff. You should hire them based on the outcome. So if you have a video editor, instead of paying them hourly, you pay them for each edited video. If you have a sales rep, instead of paying them every single call, you pay them and they close the deal. It's pretty simple math. For example, if you're hiring a director for your business to manage your clients and manage your team, instead of paying them a fat monthly salary, just pay them for every single person they manage, or pay them for specific KPIs that they have to hit, or specific outcomes they have to meet in order to get paid.
And then once they are in, fulfill on the promises that you made to them, increase the value of that person, show them how they can fit and provide value to the company. And then finally, what are the KPIs that we use to manage these people? What are they driving towards? What are they going to get compensated? And then how do we ascend them? What are the titles that they get? And what are the increases in pay that are clear based on milestones when they know they will qualify for that next raise or for that next increase in job, so they can see a clear path of when they're going to work and continue to work for your company? Because if they have no way, they can't see a future for when they're going to work for you, they're a ticking time bomb for when they're going to leave you for someone else.
That's why I never rely on one person, even if they're doing a great job. I always hire backups, so multiple people for the same role. Even if I don't need more people for a role, I still just have them in contract with me, and I have them doing a couple of things, so they always stay with me. And if someone is doing a fantastic job, I pay them more and I give them more work to do. Because if you hire one person, you aren't going to find your A player. For example, when I hired my creative director who were to manage all the clients, were to manage the entire team, right? I hired actually 3 or 4 directors, and only one of them ended up being the best person that I've ever hired. And right now he manages everything. And this is the best hire I've made to this date. And I literally doubled the salary, gave him more responsibility, had other creative directors under him, and now he manages the entire service without me having to even do weekly calls with him. Because if you think about it, people don't leave good jobs that pay well and where they are respected. They leave when things are uncertain. They leave when they are being treated badly. They leave when they are doing all this work and you aren't actually giving them like bonuses, let's say, for that work. And really, if you have a great job, then most people just won't leave. And the whole idea of hiring is not to outsource things, is to build a team that you can literally rely on. You can't work, let's say, 4 or 8 hours a week if you constantly have to micromanage each and every single person. The final recap is that you don't scale a company, you scale people. Because if you know how to get clients, right, and you have a way to get clients results, the only thing that's stopping you from taking, let's say, 1,000 more clients is the amount of clients that you can actually take on. And if you ask yourself honestly, like, how many clients can you actually take on right now? And the only way you can scale your business is if you hire people immediately. Now, even if you're making a few $1,000s profit, you should still just start the hiring process. You always want to be thinking long term. Like, I made my first hire when I got my first client, which sounds insane, but I knew eventually the business is going to scale. Eventually, I'm going to get more clients. Eventually, I will have to hire people. So might as well just do it right now. Then I can use my remaining time for other important things. Now, once you build a team that runs without you, more clients stop being stressful, growth becomes predictable, and you're finally able to just enjoy life and just go on a vacation if you want to, take a few days off, literally whatever you want to do, you can do once you have a team that you can completely just rely on. And it doesn't take much time. You might think that building a team takes years of work. It doesn't, especially if you know what you're doing, especially if you have a proven process that you're following. So if you want a full breakdown of how I built my team at 17, you can check out this video on the screen next, where I share the exact cheat codes that can save you thousands of dollars and like hundreds of hours potentially with the hires that you make. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comment. I read every single comment and I will reply to you personally with any questions that you have. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.